Awesome.
Hey.
Hi.
We should wait for 3:30 for the other thing we're doing.
Yes, we will definitely wait for 3:30 for the other
We'll
one.
do official introductions when we're supposed to actually start, but I always like to start these panels by saying, hey, Washington DC, what do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
So the way we run these panels, if you've ever been to one before, is it's literally just a discussion panel. We're here to be the panel. If there's stuff you guys want to talk about, ask questions, stick your hand in the air and we'll discuss it. If you're sitting a bit far back, we might ask you to shout or use the microphone or whatever, but we'll do our best to get through as many as we can in however long we've got.
And being how we're usually a 45-minute panel, we decided to start about 13 minutes early. You know, that we could squeeze in a few more.
Yeah. So the other thing is we do like to try and focus on the fun side of wrestling rather than some of the more devious and underhanded things that have been going on recently. We're looking at UTKO. So just try to bear that in mind when we're discussing stuff and stuff like that. So is there anything anyone wants to talk about before we start?
This is the pre-game.
Pre-show.
This is the pre-show.
This is the hour live on ESPN.
This is the kickoff show for all.
This is the YouTube short.
This is the
Throw them all out there.
Possibly odd question, but I go to the comic book store every Wednesday, and so with DCKO happening, the crossovers with AEW, is anybody actually reading those? Or
I'm
is
not.
it like a tiny slice of just the idiots who watch
I have
that
no
and show
idea
up?
who they thought that would appeal to,
Okay.
but as a person who does wrestling panels at a comic book convention, I ain't reading it.
I have not been able to pick any of them up recently. The people at my comic book store knows I am a wrestling fan, so they will put those on the side for me. It's just that, given my current situation, both job and financially, I just haven't been able to go there as recently as I'd like to.
I'm kind of where Ben is. Like, even though the crossover is in my wheelhouse, I don't, for whatever reason, I just don't, maybe I'm just not taking the time to do it. I feel like I would, stop it. For me, I would end up buying them anyway just to collect them for the covers than anything else. Like, I'm known to, like, not to get too sidebar, Marvel released the 50 state issue. They had like I own all 50 of those, and I've yet to actually open that and read it, just purely off of that for it.
Why?
Because I'm me.
Do you not remember in like, I think it was the early 2000s when Joe Quesada went, collector's covers were the death of comics in the early 90s. But these are alternate issues. And I was like, say that again? Just think about the words that are coming out of your mouth.
I just forgot.
That's fair.
I mean, but I'm also kind of in the way with jokes where it's like, I'll get them, they kind of collect them. Like, I have all the WWE ones when Boom did it. I have a lot of the variant covers of those as well.
Right,
So but AEW, I remember, what was it? Wasn't it last year, that one year when they had the free AEW DC? Like, yeah, I gave you that copy for the holidays, 2020.
Yeah, you gave me a free comic for Christmas.
Oh,
It's the thought that counts.
but
Like, if it's a solely WWE comic like Boom did, I'm like, I get that. But the last thing I need to see is like Tony Storm trying to beat up Power Girl. It's like, why?
although the one interesting thing that has kind of come out of it a little bit is that I believe one of the Batman comics recently had Batman fighting white supremacists and using like
The one
Kenny
with
Omega's
Kenny
the one
Omega,
with
yeah.
Angel, and then also like the V trigger.
Yeah.
So like, so you're kind of in a cool little way seeing some of that kind of maybe not with the wrestlers themselves, but with the actual characters.
Yeah, it's like a crossover with Street Fighter that they're doing, where Kenny Omega did all the motion capture for Alex, right? And one of his mega moves is one when Danger. And the other one's like the V trigger, and I'm just like, I get that Kenny Omega's a Street Fighter fan, but why?
I mean, any type of, if you can do a crossover, I mean, it's good promo.
Like, Xavier Woods must be pissed.
Oh, probably.
I'm sure, like, But like when you can do those crossovers, and like granted, I know there's a lot of us that probably have those, comic book into the wrestling side of things. When you can have the opportunity to do it, it's a great thing. Now, depends on how you promote it, put it out there for people to want to absorb it and take it.
Yeah.
That's going to be the other side of it.
Yeah. You want to just start now?
Yeah, let's go for it. So, everyone, welcome to AwesomeMania, the Pro Wrestling Fan Panel. I am Michael. This fine gentleman to my right is your undisputed champion, Mr. Ben Taylor. And then to his right, from Loading Snacks, is Marcus. And to his right is also from Loading Snacks, Jokes. Woo!
Oh, sure, he gets a cheer.
And then sitting right there is AwesomeMania Hall of Famer, Mr. Ben Taylor.
And founder of AwesomeCon.
Yep.
That man's the reason you're here. Now, speaking of the Hall of Fame, those of you who were here last time saw us induct Mr. Penrod. And we have a couple of orders of business before we go. We're going to do 2 inductees this year. 2 people that are sorely missing from our lives. 2 people that have been major parts of this panel and of our regular fandom. First is a man who Mike and I founded AwesomeMania with, one Mansa Herndon. And the other one would be former Loading Snacks member, Sin. Usually we have plaques to give away, but due to circumstances beyond our control, they are not with us today. But we just wanted to acknowledge how much both of those people have meant to our journeys in this fandom. And we'll never forget them. Yeah.
So with that,
For those of you that have just joined us, this is the Pro Wrestling Fan Discussion Panel. The way we like to run things is we ask you what you want to talk about, and then we all talk about it.
we had a good primer of the
Yeah.
startup.
Does anyone have anything they want to talk about specifically? No? Oh, hello.
There's a hand.
And then we'll do next.
Have you seen the DC AEW crossover? Early, which was
The consensus was why?
Kind of.
Nah. As people who do wrestling panels at comic book conventions, none of us are buying that. So, you are? What do you think? The defense rests, Your Honor.
So here's the interesting. Is it canon, I guess is the way to say it, or is this just some type of
Nobody knows the answer to that
Okay.
because they're doing.
That would involve DC having a canon for about
Listen,
half
that's
an
what
hour.
I'm trying, because like everything is in disarray, to say for the least. But I mean, I guess if the Justice League gets desperate enough, we reach out to AEW stars to try to.
Are we going to see James Gunn putting AEW stars in the Suicide Squad?
Probably.
Yeah,
That wouldn't surprise me.
If they follow their path on Green Lantern and actually give us the weird wrestling, like
Mhm.
multiverse wrestling.
That would be amazing.
Like, if they go with that.
They could get The Rock to come back and play that character from Voyager.
But.
Oh.
But I
No.
think other than that, they should
No.
just let,
Yeah, but then they're trying to take over DC again.
I mean, hey, Paramount, Warner Brothers, kind of a thing. So
I was under the impression that they were probably planning to have NetherRealm do another fighting game.
Yeah.
And that's why they were pushing the DCKO thing.
Yeah.
And that probably
There's got to be better than
probably
Fight Forever.
fizzled.
Fight Forever was so bad.
Correct.
I wanted to love that game. So
We'll go to you and then we'll go to you, Los.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, like, I was a fan of Julia since she started in
Mhm.
NXT,
Me too.
and like, why do you guys think maybe like that hasn't translated well to like her booking on like the main roster? Because like she's really talented and stuff. Like, why do you think like maybe the audience or the booking has not like shown off her talent so much?
I genuinely don't know.
yeah,
She's lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the short end of the stick for that is she's lost in the shuffle.
All right, you cannot come in here dressed as Joe Hendry and sit in the back.
All right,
He was waiting for someone to say his name.
No.
Maybe he was just gonna randomly show up and come up to the front.
I have been watching that man wrestle since he was the local hero in ICW 20 years ago. I don't acknowledge this say his name nonsense, okay? I'm partly responsible for Drew McIntyre existing. Alright, so story time. Back before I left the UK, me and a couple of my friends bought a wrestling ring and were training to be wrestlers. Those friends went on to form a wrestling federation in the UK that then made a wrestling school that Drew McIntyre went to. So indirectly, I'm responsible for Drew McIntyre. And in that case, can Cody go away, please?
No, Cody's not gonna go away.
Why?
Drew can.
You know, it's funny. I ran on the market, so you go, so why is
How's the Bullet Club doing, Marcus?
Hey, listen, don't do that.
You came at me about Drew.
But it's on topic.
Why? Because Cody just needs to get out of the title picture for a while. Especially not taking it off Drew.
I mean, they could have done though.
Yes! And they should have put the belt on Drew at WrestlePalooza and have Cody take it away from him at Mania, rather than this hot shot nonsense they're giving us.
The problem, I think, apparently, I think they moved up scheduling for Highlander.
Yeah.
So
That's what they did.
Yeah, so that's why it was kind of that
But then put it
weird.
on someone else. Then put it on Cody.
I'm not mad though, because you
Put it
know
on
what?
Julia. I don't care.
Thank you.
I'm not
He needs
too
all the belts.
upset. Because I'm down with the Cody Randy feud. Like, even though I don't, let me not say feud per se.
But it doesn't need the belt.
He doesn't, but Randy can take it off of him.
Yes, but that feud doesn't need the belt. You just build it around, what was the name of the stable? Legacy. Just build it around Legacy. You don't need the belt in there. The belt could be involved in a much bigger program.
It's kind of like, remember when Kevin Owens was the Universal Champion and they took it off of him because
They
were like,
didn't want him and Jericho main event in Mania.
yeah, they're like, oh, we want the title on Goldberg so we can have Goldberg, Brock Lesnar. And
Or
it's
that
that,
match is valid.
and it's
Or
like, oh, Jericho and Owens, they don't need the title for their feud. But
So
it's
to answer
made-
your question, we have no idea why Julia isn't
I
getting
did.
Just give her all the belts.
One thing I would say about Julia is, and we've kind of seen it also with Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka to a slight extent, but not as much, is also the lack of English.
I
Stephanie
disagree
Van
with
has
that.
been doing so
I
well.
disagree with that because, like, if you look at Asuka, Io, and Kyrie, they're like main focuses of the division right now.
It's
But
Stephanie
the
Van
difference between them and Julia is that Julia is the only one who has a mouthpiece in Keanu James.
So that's what I'm saying is, if the other three can get to the top of the card without a mouthpiece, why does Julia need one?
And I think that's part of the problem. That's what I'm saying. I think that's part
Because
of the problem.
and I'm saying this, but we're in an area in WWE where they've got so much women's talent. It's actually embarrassing. Like, if you look at all the stuff that's going on in NXT, you have people like Zarya who are playing second fiddle to Scott Zolrooker, but could easily be women's champion in NXT. Like, there's so much talent in NXT in the women's division, and then you look at people like Chelsea Green, Julia, Ivy Nile. You're looking at so many people on the main roster that are also brilliant wrestlers, and they're just not doing anything with it.
And that's the thing that's being talked about, which is one.
And yet we have Rhea Ripley in the title picture again.
And well, that's one of the interesting things that's coming out of the talk about the booking for WrestleMania is that they're now talking about like how, Rhea versus Jade is going to be like one of those main focuses along with Stephanie McCoy and Liv
Jade,
Morgan.
who's defended her title
Once?
Once.
Has it been once now?
But hold on. But the talk is that this is probably going to be one of the most women-heavy WrestleManias where there's going to be a lot more matches booked
Right,
on this card. But it's just a matter of how we get there.
I don't mean to sound. Jade shouldn't be that person.
Oh, I
She should have
agree.
gone to NXT.
Yeah.
She should have gone to NXT. Like there
She
was
needed
a,
time in NXT.
there was a point where
There's nothing wrong with going to NXT.
Yeah.
Like it's good.
If it's good enough for Shinsuke freaking Nakamura, it's good
Finn
enough for Jake
Balor,
Cargill.
That's pretty much the point of all of the like overseas talent.
Yeah.
You don't instantly put them in NXT unless you were like that top
Yeah.
person where you just immediately went to the main
And if there's any question about women's talent getting over, look at Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
no, she did well. Now the thing with Jade though, they took the tool. They were trying to take the time to like develop her more off screen without doing NXT. There was that whole thing that they signed her, and then for months we didn't see her do anything. And of course, Trips was out here selling it like she was going to be the best thing in the world to come and make her appearance and do stuff for it.
But it's kind of like also, who is she friends with?
Cody. And then Jake Cargill has a single stare down with Jordan Grace, and you're like, Jake's getting her bucket.
Oh no, that's only facts.
And what makes it worse is that Jordan Grace completely owned Jake Cargill on the mic.
He wasn't even
Oh,
trying.
I love Jordan too.
Yeah.
Carlos, you had your hand up, bud.
Actually, I was just mentioning the AEW crossover.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically to push cool wrestling art on the cover.
Oh.
And it was also just the fact that, like, you can watch Dynamite Collision. Yeah, it was basically just for fans.
Okay. Has anyone signed up for the new AEW streaming thing?
I think that's international.
That's international. Yeah.
VPN
I mean, granted, you can do
is-
a VPN, yeah. But I mean, it makes sense with, especially with the pay-per-views, I believe, are involved with that, if I'm not mistaken. So, pseudo WWE Network, that's
Gotta be better than ESPN.
so.
But we're not going to talk about that today. Anyone else got anything we want to talk about? Yes, sir.
Quick question. Are we tired of putting the belt on Roman, Cody, and Seth every freaking time?
Yes.
The whole year. I mean, Triple H is scared as hell to
Pull the trigger on
somebody
someone.
else or-
I wouldn't say he's scared to pull the trigger on. He pulled the trigger on Stephanie. He pulled the trigger on. He pulled the trigger on
I don't
EO
wanna see him
finally.
one night. He's so boring, and I don't care about how he writes.
We'll come to you in a minute.
Somebody else to help him every year, all year.
Yeah.
If Roman gets the title, he's gonna hold it all year again, probably.
And disappear.
No,
Yeah, that's my biggest
You're
issue.
absolutely right, but I'm not saying he's not scared to pull the trigger on other talent. He's just scared to do it around WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I get the marquee matchup thing, whatever, at WrestleMania, obviously, but
You're also going to be running into, at least for the next few years, you're going to be running into things that Triple H doesn't have control of, like
Which is the
John Cena's retirement tour, or what the Saudi Arabian government wants.
Or what the TKO officials want, because one of the other things is that if Las Vegas does not have a like NCAA Final Four or a Super Bowl or some marquee event, they want WrestleMania there almost every other year or every year because all the TKO executives live in Vegas.
Yeah, right.
So,
And
so
then,
and that's
you're also running into things like, dare I say it, the Vision's complete inability to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me Braun Breaker wasn't planned to have a WrestleMania match.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely was going to have a Mania match.
you can't tell me Stephanie McCall wasn't supposed to be on the card.
do you think there were some females on the main roster that maybe Heyman could, you know,
Yes,
be-
literally all of them. You
Except
cannot.
for Chelsea. Chelsea doesn't need a
No, not Heyman.
No, but could you imagine Paul Heyman with Chelsea into her nonsense?
so the gentleman back there, and then we'll get to you. Sir.
For the record,
Oh,
put
wait.
every
No,
belt
no.
on Chelsea Green.
Correction, him,
Then
then
we'll
you,
come to
then
you.
you. Okay, my bad.
No, I think the problem, you have two problems right now. One is the Vision just could not stay healthy.
No.
Which, let's face it, blew up probably half of WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the other problem is they're desperate to fill those seats.
Yeah.
And whether we get tired of it or not, people like Roman and Cody do sell tickets.
Yep.
And that's the issue. They're trying to make sure that show sells out.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, and that's what we're fighting, in a sense.
We can have all the internet darlings we like, but they're not selling tickets to the casual person. People know who Roman Reigns is. They know who Cody Rhodes is. especially with Street Fighter coming out.
Yeah. You gotta push those, you gotta push them. They right.
Did you guys see the picture of Cody in his Guile outfit playing Street Fighter with the guy that makes Street Fighter? I was just like, my lord.
You sir, and then we'll get to you. Yeah.
Who do we pray gets injured next in the vision?
Oh.
We don't need that at all.
No. Though I'm fairly sure they're all injured at this point.
Honestly, the one thing that we have heard is that Ron Breaker is trying to get as healthy as possible to come back for Mania. Whether he doesn't or
they
not.
can't build a Mania match. Ron Breaker. They just have to have a little run in or something.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, you're just gonna have to probably have Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul be that match. You know, because that's what essentially is what they're kind of building to right now. Because
the look on your face.
So the crazy thing is, I'm actually would not be upset with that match.
There are worse matches.
And listen, Seth, like just like you were saying earlier, like the issue with trying to put him back in the title picture, he's another one. Unfortunately, just can't stay healthy at certain times when it happens. Logan was one of those that honestly, when he first came in, I wanted to hate.
I do.
And
I don't want to hate him. I do.
Cena convinced Logan Paul to sign on to be a full-time wrestler now.
And him being full-time, he fits the bill.
No. Logan Paul is a legitimate full-timer.
Mark my words.
Can he be part-time or no time?
Exactly. Mark my words.
0 time?
That's by the end of 2028, Logan Paul will be world champion.
I
Can we know?
Yeah, I can see it.
Just give to Braun Breaker, please.
Don't give it to Braun Breaker. He's awful.
Pull the trigger on it. We're talking about
He's
pulling the trigger.
awful.
So
Once people realise all he can do is run quickly, and he's going to fall off every time he's even picked up a microphone, my skin has fallen off.
isn't that why Paul Heyman is there?
Yes, but the problem is they put him with Paul Heyman and they still gave him a microphone.
I mean, yes, he's got him at least once.
He did do it.
He
It
does
was
do
good,
it.
and we don't need to touch
Yeah.
That's my point. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Alright, it's kind of a double question, but you can choose which one you want to answer. Do we really need Paul Heyman? And do you like the show Unreal?
I have not watched Unreal, but I have noticed that all the episodes are up on YouTube thanks to somebody uploading them all. So I will watch them eventually. I think Paul Heyman's important, not just, I wouldn't say he's most important on screen, but yeah, very important behind the scenes.
Everyone in that company can learn something from Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Whether he needs to be an on-screen talent or not, that's another question.
Yeah.
But everyone can always use a mouthpiece.
Facts. Especially if
And he's real good at that.
Yeah.
You know what they should put with Paul Heyman? Honestly, Julia.
Who?
Julia.
Okay.
That would be an interesting combo, but yeah.
And he would just have him put her over, like, have her absolutely wreck someone, and you'd be like, hey, I found Brock Lesnar. Now I have Julia. And it would work. Kiana James is not the right mouthpiece for Julia.
No.
Especially the fact that they are really kind of using, going back to your question about Julia, they're kind of using Julia in a way to push Kiana James.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why she was in the Elimination Chamber match and not Julia, because they are kind of using her to push.
I mean, I like them both. I'm fine with both. It's just an odd pairing.
As for Unreal, it is. It's unreal. It's not true. None of it's true. Can't be. I'm sorry. The way that they can...
Get it out.
I'm not allowed to swear.
Just say it to you.
Are there any children in here?
We have...
The fact that a bunch of grown men could sit in a conference room and go, we don't know how to fucking book Chelsea Green, boggles my mind!
Because they're men.
You put a title on her and you have her go, I am the best at the wrestling. Would anybody like to try and prove I am not the best at the wrestling? And then you have a bunch of feuds based on the fact she's the best at writing! It writes itself!
No, you answered your own question. It's a bunch of men. We don't have any women.
She's the best thing on your roster! She is the single most entertaining thing in your women's division, and yet for the 13th year in a row, we've got Rhea Ripley and bloody Liv Morgan in the title matches!
You good? You good? Good?
I agree.
Yes, you back there. Please speak loudly.
Well, be careful what you wish for with Danhausen, like usurp
Put Danhausen everywhere!
No, you can't put him everywhere.
They are already doing a better job with Danhausen than AEW ever did. Have him show up and just be weird.
That's it. And listen,
Don't stick him with 18 people and the best friends and then be like, I don't know why he didn't get over.
With R-Truth now kind of stepping to the side, that's kind of a good person to kind of fill that gap. Like,
He's little Jimmy.
Listen, oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
I'm going to sleep.
Like, because R-Truth, like when we were gonna get the Ron killings, like I was like, yeah, we're good. I'm amped for this, and then we just immediately switched back to R-Truth.
I mean, we talked about that.
We talked about that.
We were really excited for Ron Killings and that big major push, and then just like, oh wait, I step,
It's
reverse.
Got you. And also,
check out on the real.
One of the things I love about Danhausen is they're having him on both Raw and SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Just cause it like he did the thing to Dom that caused him to lose the IC title to Penta, and then he meets the Miz on SmackDown. And it's like, don't forget what I did to Dom. And Miz just having to look like horrified look. And then on this past Raw, they did a thing where all he did, he comes out, and it's just an ad for his T-shirt.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is perfect. It's
When
like,
you
I'm
have-
actually looking
You
forward.
have the entire audience chanting, "You are cursed," right?
Yeah.
And he's been there, what, 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
No, I think it's 2 weeks. This is his second full week with the company. Like, I actually am excited to, even though I'm going to be recording a podcast when SmackDown's going on, I'm going to have it on just because I want to see what Danhausen's going to do.
How did you screw that up, AEW? Rule one.
Yeah, I was about to say rule one.
He's got the #1 top merchandising T-shirt.
Also, let's keep in mind the other thing real quick about what happened to Danhausen and maybe a few other people in AEW. Who were they friends with? CM Punk.
Guys, if we don't answer this question in a minute, it's gonna hurt.
Okay, and we'll go to Kingpin, and then we'll go back to you because I saw your hand raised again.
Yeah.
So, given some of the complaints about the main event scene in WWE, with the prices for the events, especially the PLEs getting higher and higher, is that really going to change, or is it going to end up?
That is not changing.
That's not changing. When TKO blames ESPN for things being too expensive, and then goes, Vince McMahon wasn't charging enough for his shows. You have lost touch.
That's one thing Vince did care about, was like making sure that like the family was going to be able to come to the show, to be able to be a part of it. But now it's just straight up dollar. Like I remember like when me and my girlfriend went to WrestleMania 29, it was like we were probably 7 seats from being ringside. And granted, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't like this is gonna break your life and you're gonna have to take out a loan for the next 10 years to pay for it.
So Ben and I were talking about this before the panel, and I had mentioned like the renovations going on at Capital One Arena, and you're seeing this thing now where the average
15 minutes.
No, I did not mention hockey.
That wasn't me this time, right? See, been there. So
I
you can't
mentioned
blame
the
me.
arena, not hockey. Come on now. But they're kind of in a way pushing out the casual, actual fans. And one thing that we were talking about is how Major League Baseball, NBA, now I said it, NHL, WWE, AEW, all that stuff is generational. The fan bases are always going to be generational. And if you can't have families coming to any of these events, no matter what sport or a concert, whatever, you're not going to be able to grow your fan bases properly. And that is across the board for a lot of things. And that's what we're seeing right now.
And then they're like, why do live make merchandise sales down? Gee, I wonder.
Not only that, but having Mania in Vegas for a second year in a row when it was originally supposed to be in New Orleans this year also is probably a big factor why this year's not doing very well in
It's
Vegas.
much like, and I hate to draw the comparison, comic book conventions, right? Like 90% of people who get to a comic book convention their budget's spent before they get on the floor because they bought pictures with actors and pre-bought autographs, and those things are so expensive that you wander around Artist Alley and you've got like $5 in your pocket, and you're like, well, do I spend it here? Or do I spend it here? Or do I spend it here? It's just, everyone's just a revenue stream now. They don't care about people just actually enjoying themselves. And I miss it, man.
We're gonna go to her, and then we'll go to Joe Henry.
Okay, yeah, I actually want to shift gears real quick to the AEW.
Yeah, sure.
I'm definitely worried about the Sunday's Revolution. Because the feature is supposed to be MJF versus Hangman, the
Texas Death.
If MJF wins that match, is Hangman done in AEW altogether, or what?
Well, because the stipulation is that
He loses the common stipulation. Yeah, he loses the common challenge for the world title again. Who knows?
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think he'll be okay.
If he leaves, if he
I don't think he'll leave.
I
don't think he'll leave.
Hangman, I think he might have a few more years left on that contract anyways, but I don't see Hangman leaving. There is something that...
Hangman's the main character of AEW, man.
Yeah, there was something that you and I talked about, and I think it might have been on one of our podcast episodes, not at a panel, where we were talking about when Cody had the stipulation, you know, he essentially booked himself out of AEW, right? But there was something that you had brought up where it's like, well, that's something where, you know, maybe MJF loses the title to a face, and Hangman goes heel and says, the hell with that stipulation. But there is some type of way that he...
Don't make Hangman heel.
But there was some way, but like, well, you wanted Cody to go heel. That's why I'm bringing that part up. But maybe there's something like that. He loses the right to...
Right, but the reason I
suggested
Cody going heel is at the time Cody was still an EVP. So my idea was to have him change the name of the title. That way he could challenge for it again, because it's a loophole. Yeah. That doesn't work for him.
Yeah, well, there's got to be some way that he can still find a way to, like, okay, I lost the ability because of MJF. How do I find a way to earn that back?
They just make another match for the stipulation that either gives it back to him, or then at that point, he has to leave the company.
But that also involves Tony Khan knowing...
Or he just gets back in the title because we're winning like a casino battle royal or something, because it's not him. It's his name on the contract. It's an open contract.
He'll just put on a mask.
Yeah.
That's literally, he'll put on a mask and on a mask.
Don't turn Hangman heel. He's AEW. Everyone wants to. Yes, he's great as a heel, but now the Swerve's gone back heel. Now that
you don't want to make that pull too much.
Yes.
One thing AEW is far too common at doing is having like one face at a time.
That's valid.
Joe Henry.
That was my exact question I was going to ask. So I guess I'll say my prediction. I think it's maybe more likely that Hangman actually wins the match, and we go into an era of shorter runs for a little while, because they sort of boosted so many guys to the main title picture.
Yeah.
That maybe you see like Hangman gets a couple of months, Swerve gets a couple of months.
So essentially the title starts getting like hot potatoed a little bit, kind of like how it was like wasn't it like that a bit in the Attitude Era for a little bit?
Kind of, but I'm not a big fan of doing that. Like, the thing is, if they can put the belt on one of them and make this is a pillar we talk, is making more involved with the story with whoever it is that you're having. I think that's one issue that AEW has, is there's not big structures when it comes time for certain stories.
Yeah.
Like, Death Riders. I'm kind of over them. Like,
remember when they tried to turn them face and then they immediately shaved someone's hair?
It was weird. Like,
yeah, that was great.
I just feel like they have to build on that a lot more, because otherwise, like, I don't consistently watch AEW. The only reason why I really watch is because there's people there that I enjoy that wrestle there, and it's the only place technically that I can watch them. But if it came time for me to want to be in depth and be involved, there's no story. There's no reason for me to want to come back the next week. Like, I think one promotion that does things really well, because it's not necessarily stories, is New Japan. Now, granted, it's a different formula with how they run things, because they don't have a weekly episodic show. They don't do anything like that. It's just they have these events that are once a month, twice a month, every now and then for it. But AEW is trying to be like a WWE, but if you don't give me the story to be involved with it, I'll just come back in 4 weeks and, oh, hey, I heard that, let's say X, Y, and Z is coming back. I'm gonna tune in for that just because
I think the bigger problem with AEW is that Triple H has said this in interviews for how WWE books. They listen to the live audience on what is working and what is not. They're not paying attention necessarily to the internet wrestling community. They're paying attention to who's in the arena when the stuff happens. Whereas with Tony Khan, he pays way too much attention to the internet stuff.
It's weird because AEW has like some of the best wrestlers in the world. We'll get to you in a minute, sir. You will need to either really shout or come forward. But we'll get to you in a minute. AEW has, I mean, when we did our top 10, I think 6 of the people on my list were in AEW. Like I'm sitting in with an Osprey scarf on. Like I've watched the man since he was in Progress. Like I'm of the opinion that Konosuke Takeshita was the best wrestler in the world last year. Like, and you will have to go some way to convince me I'm wrong. But like when they're trying to do actual storytelling things, it's like they only have time for one thing at a time. Like the Hangman story when he was building up to that first title win from Kenny Omega was the best cold story in wrestling in a very long time. And they've been trying to catch that spark ever since. And they've just been off that mark ever so slightly.
Yeah, they start off really good on their storytelling, and then it's just like 3 weeks, and it's just like it's done.
Best case in point, Cody versus Shawn Spears. Could have been easily a 3-match pay-per-view feud, and it ended up being a 1 and done. There's so much to it.
So who we got in the back there? There was a gentleman who comes with the folks right in the back.
Yeah.
How much did WWE's dominance over the North American area and overall in the world, once WCW departed, affected younger wrestling fans? Because I see it's a real dynamic shift between people who are older and watch a lot of different things and understand that it's not just one way to do things.
Yeah.
You do things based on your own creativity. And it's a common thing that I hear from like primary WWE grown-up fans. There's no story in AEW.
Yeah.
When I watch it, I see the stories, and maybe it's not the storytelling the way that you
We see the stories. They're just not very well executed.
And the commentary about like Tony Khan being online, I'm like, yeah, he's online. Triple H is definitely online because he got the credit for like got that heat for not using black male wrestlers. And all of a sudden you start seeing 3 young, even years later, getting shine, and he pays attention to it too, so it's kind of like, all right.
Well, when I say that he's not fully like paying attention to it, he's not taking it as the end all be all.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's
like you said, like not pushing black wrestlers, which is a problem. They should be getting pushed. You know, that's the stuff they are going to listen to because it's like, okay, we do need to diversify ourselves a lot more and a lot better. But like when they're going, people are going online just absolutely crapping all over the product nonstop all the time. That's the stuff that he's tuning out because they're paying attention to what.
One thing I would beg people bear in mind is last time we pushed black wrestlers because they're black, we got Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, he didn't do a good job with that.
Yeah, you gotta make it make sense. We did have Kofi, and then he lost to Brock Lesnar in 8 seconds.
Listen, that Kofi's could have had
But that's not a Kofi thing.
No, it's not.
What I'm saying is,
we're not going to go down that
What I'm
route.
saying is, please don't just push wrestlers because they're black. Because if you do it wrong, there will be backlash.
It's got to make sense too. Like
It's like when Jodie Whittaker was cast as the Doctor, right? I used to go to this convention called Regeneration 2. I don't know if anyone ever went to it. But I did a panel with the woman that played Petronella Osgood. And we were asked about a woman playing the Doctor. This is back when it was still Matt Smith. And I said, don't do it unless you have found the right person. Because if you do it with the wrong person, they're going to be like, that's why you don't do that.
She was the right person. I mean, we can complain about her booking or writing, but I mean, I think she was a good.
She did a great job.
And look at some of the people that are coming up now in Ron Evans and Obafemi. The way that Triple H is booking those guys is really good.
Javon Evans, over Femi, Leon Slater, who
Gold. All three
Let's be
golds.
honest, I've been watching Leon since he was, again, back in the English scene. Seeing the evolution he's had has been phenomenal. Javon Evans I'm torn on, because every time I watch him I just miss Chris Bay. Because
yeah.
he's just
They
Chris
have
Bay.
that same similar style and everything.
I love them both, but it just makes me miss Chris Bay. But yeah, there was another gentleman. Yes, sir.
Yes, I want to know, do y'all think LA Knight is going to finally win the belt at least this year, if not this year, ever in WWE?
Honestly,
Definitely based off of his spots.
Stop. As far as like world championship, I don't see him probably having it for a couple of years still.
If I'd had my brothers, it would have been Drew against LA Knight at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
My thing, going back to Kingpin's question when he asked about like the title scene, like if they hot potato the title like in AEW, but if they do that a little bit in WWE because it's felt like they kind of done that with the WWE title now a little bit, I can see LA Knight getting it that way.
I also,
but depends.
So to put my 25 cents in on the AEW hot shotting, I wouldn't mind it. They've done so many long title reigns at this point. A little bit of hot shotting wouldn't be a bad thing, as long as it ends with another long title reign. They just need to stop the out of nowhere booking. I'm looking at you, Samoa Joe. That was, you don't end Hangman's title run that way. We've been building to that for nearly a year. We've been dealing with the goddamn Death Riders.
Yeah.
And it should have just ended there.
Who you pointed was next?
There was someone else in the back.
We had two people in the back.
Okay, we got two people. So we'll go to you and then we'll go to you, sir.
Yeah,
you
first.
So I'm just saying, like, as far as like the hot potato title run, like, how much do you really want that? Because usually when it's hot potato, they're like really short. Like somebody has the belt for like maybe 2 months, and I
fine with that.
Like I don't like those.
And
like,
right,
I don't need like
but
a really.
with all due respect, with all due respect, AEW is what, 6 years old now? You've had 6 years of long title runs. Give the people who like hot potato a thing for every now and again.
I guess so. I'm not.
And then you can have another title run at the end.
Yeah. This is like for me. It's like if I really like someone, I wanted to see them get a good like maybe 5-6 months. With it.
Right, but AEW have proven they're not going to do that vis-a-vis Hangman's last title run. Literally everyone in the world was like, kill John Moxley. And then he did, and they went, yeah, but you're going to lose to Samoa Joe of all people. And everyone went, why? Can I use my one swear?
Go for it.
Fucking why?
Is that the one? Like, I feel like it's three.
It's because it was so short. Like I like Samoa Joe. I would like to see Samoa Joe get 5 or 6 months with the belt, but he ended up being like, what was it like 2, 3?
2 months.
But in a way, Joe was that transitional champion.
Because Joe's thing came out of nowhere, right? They built Hangman, they built Swerve, they built Andrade, they built Kenny Omega, they built Brody King at this point. You could do hot shots between all 5 of those for the next year, give them 2 runs each, and then at the end, just have Brody King go, I'm going to win this, and come at me, you ain't stopping me. It would be perfect. It would work brilliantly.
We got about 15 minutes left.
We have one more, and then we're going to go to Mr. Rosaro here.
I was going to say, as far as pushing stuff or pushing people, Powerhouse Hobbs, that was the worst. He should not have debuted at the Rumble there.
No.
No clue who he was. And he's not been on TV since. Like,
There's a bit more to that. From what I've been reading, there's a bit more to him not having been on TV due to certain contractual things.
Yeah.
Like he was available to appear in Saudi Arabia because it's not in America.
But apparently he's not allowed to appear in the States because of AEW.
There's some non-compete clause.
So, like, I'm not mad that he...
Just don't debut him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad that he showed up in the wrong. I mean, that's a great place to at least establish yourself that you know that you're here. So, I do think, like, he was on... I think they had him on Main Event. Was it Main Event? I think he ended up having, like, a dark match on. It was something. He was on... They had him, like, one match, and then after that, we haven't seen him since.
But I think the bigger problem is that because it was in Saudi Arabia, there's a lot of people who do not watch the Saudi Arabia shows out of protest of it being in Saudi Arabia, Ben being one of them.
I'm ready to enjoy WrestleMania.
And not only that, but not only that, but the thing is that you also have that audience there who may not even know that AEW exists, so they don't know who Powerhouse Hobbs is. Plus, he's coming in under the name of Royce Keys, so it's completely different when you look at it from that perspective. It was not the ideal situation.
All right, Captain Wamadou in the front row.
Where do you guys see Finn Balor's face turn, like leading into WrestleMania and beyond?
Well, Dom doesn't have the IC title anymore now.
Yeah.
Because he got cursed by Danhausen.
WWE just needs to buy the rights to Bullet Club and put Bullet Club in WWE.
It's not happening. Listen, Marcus, I love you to death, and I love the Bullet Club. It's not happening. Listen, do you know how, now you're leading me off on a tangent, do you know how many opportunities WWE had to pull the trigger on actual pseudo versions of the Bullet Club, and they failed to capitalize on any of them? Dog, you had AJ. Oh, you had AJ, you had Finn, you had Gallows, you had Anderson. Like, you literally had this whole squad. You had G.O.D. all in the company at it. Even if it was a brief moment in time that you could have pulled that trigger. Listen, I know the bloodline was a thing. You could have easily taken the two of them out of the bloodline. That could have been an excellent way to pull them out.
Could you imagine if they just ended an episode of SmackDown with like Roman bloody on the floor and like Finn's finger just like that in his head? They'd have sold 77,000 t-shirts in a second.
In a second.
But my thing, I'm a Finn fan. I love Finn Balor. I definitely think this face turn is going to eventually lead to him finally getting that title run that he is long overdue, because he has not had the title since he won the Universal Championship and then had to relinquish it 24 years.
Bring back the Prince from NXT.
Yeah, bring back the Prince from NXT, and as Finn Balor has said in interviews, bring back the Demon when it actually makes sense to bring out
and
the
don't
Demon.
have it lose falling off the top rope.
So, which I do like the fact that when I do like the fact that when Finn was going up against CM Punk these last couple times, that he brought that up, and that he brought up the fact that it took some fluke for Roman Reigns to beat him, for why he couldn't get another championship, and that he hasn't had another opportunity since.
Finn's another person I've been watching since he was brand new in the English scene. It's weird to see him in such a situation now, where I've been asking these guys. I've been asking WWE to beg to pull the trigger on him for years at this point.
And Finn is one of Hunter's boys.
Yeah.
So that's why I have a
he's in the same situation as Sami Zayn. Like, pull the trigger on the boy.
I think Sammy and I think Finn are both going to eventually get world title runs, hopefully by the end of this year. If not, they will be in that picture come Mania next year.
They should have pulled the trigger on Finn, honestly, during the Judgment Day transition. I feel like when Edge ended up getting kicked out, that whole entire thing, and you know, there is not a leader or whatever, like that's subjective, but that would have been the perfect opportunity to pull that trigger and put one of the belts on Finn. Even if it wasn't the World Heavyweight, it could have been the Intercontinental, it could have been the United States Championship, however you wanted to do it. It would have fit the storyline, it would have worked great for what he needed. Like him right now, he just needs a championship. He deserves it. He's fought for it.
And he needs a world championship.
He needs that. Don't get me wrong. But we got to get him in. Now listen, if they were to put him on it, give him the Intercontinental Championship to let him feud with Dom for a little while.
I think where we're at now, he needs the world championship, especially after the matches he had with Punk.
Yeah.
Like, people know he can go now. Like, they need to.
They know he can go.
Build. Putting the belt on him.
Okay. We're gonna take two quick questions. We got about 10 minutes left, so we'll have Kingpin, and then we'll have you, and then those will be the last two questions we take.
Right.
This Sunday, who needs to win more as it relates to who's the most dangerous man in AEW? Birdie or Swerve? Also, Rock the Red. Birdie.
In my opinion, it's Brody.
100%.
Brody.
Yeah.
Swerve's fine.
Like, look at the reaction that Brody's getting right now. Swerve can take a loss, Brody can't in this situation.
And Swerve doesn't mind putting over talent, so.
Also, for the record, fuck Ice.
By the way, I had a second part question. Just before you, what's your opinion?
I'm well aware I swore.
About Bad Bunny. I don't care if it is music at all. Just like with the 2 matches that he was in, like his athleticism and the moves he did, and Logan Paul so far, predominantly being a full-time wrestler. Like
at the time, it wasn't. Yeah.
Like, how do you? What's your opinion of their moveset and how they perform?
As long as you put in the work and it translates well and it shows that you care about your business, you're fine. And at least in my book, you're fine.
Look at when what's his name, Stephen Amell did the stuff with AEW. He was brilliant.
Listen, like Stephen Amell did heels. Like that's one of our things that
you can't talk about heels. It took you forever to watch the show.
We're not going to talk about heels because we've got a long time left.
But yeah.
I didn't think the Kingpin had a question?
No,
that was the question.
He was the question.
Who was the last question?
He was the last question.
Yeah. Okay. We have time for one more?
We can sneak in one more, and he got his hand up right
Yes,
before
sir.
we get him.
Can you recommend some good wrestling books to read?
Books to read?
Books? That's
if
all
you
you're
haven't
doing.
read Have a Nice Day, you're doing it wrong. Mick Foley's first autobiography. It's one of the best things I've ever read. The story about him and The Undertaker at Hell in a Cell, yeah.
I would say there was a stretch in the early mid-2000s where the wrestlers were getting biographies that they're writing themselves. The Hardys was a great one to read. Lita's was actually a great one to read. Lita actually trained in Maryland for a little while at MCW. Stone Cold's book, Eddie Guerrero's book was also a very good one as well.
The list of Jericho is quite interesting.
Yeah.
It's basically a book where Jericho has listed every match he's ever had and what the results and things are, because he keeps them in the book.
Crazy.
I don't want to praise Chris Jericho too much, but I'm glad he's gone for a while.
But with that, because we're running up.
All right, before we do the exit,
yes,
there's something I do at every panel we do. Alexis, can you come forward, please? That is Alexis. Everybody turn and say hello. Hello. Alexis is wearing a green t-shirt. That means she is a volunteer at this convention, going out of her way to give up her time so that you guys can enjoy yourselves. And I speak from experience, it is a thankless task. Change that. If you see someone in green, say thank you. Please. And for anyone who is in Richmond next weekend for GalaxyCon,
oh, we were going to do that last.
No, hang on. After the panel is closed down, Mike and I have a panel next week, so please hang around. We want to record a thing with you guys in the background if you don't mind. Thank you. Now you can do the outro.
We'll start with jokes, and then Marcus, then Ben, and then I for where everyone can find us on social media. Then we'll do out.
Yes. Yeah, I got you. So, easy way for you'll have it on later, but Loading Snacks. So we also have our own podcast. It's called The Finisher Podcast. It's also on Instagram that you can go into, but everything, best place to go is Loading Snacks. Besides wrestling, we pretty much cover all avenues of pop culture. So wrestling, anime, tech, like we have pretty much covered everything under the sun. I don't think there is a topic that we probably don't talk about or feature on the show. So if there's something that you like, more than likely, if you tune in, you will be able to see something that you enjoy. Pokemon cards as well too. That's something I do.
You can find me on Twitch at Trinidadian G. I do a lot of gameplay, like Joe said. Do podcast work on multitude of topics, and so yeah.
I don't do social media. It's cancer. No way, that's not fair. Cancer is better than social media. I do have a personal Facebook, but I don't give it out to anyone. You can find me on Twitch doing video game stuff. 321_TV with my friend Jordan. We tend to play a lot of multiplayer games and things like that, but it's just a chill time every Friday or so. But yeah, I don't do social media because I don't want to doom scroll.
And then you can find me on all social media at the Lindenbaum 75. It's my last name and my jersey number for when I play hockey.
We didn't need that information, Mike.
It's the easiest way to explain why it's like that.
You don't need to explain it. Like, I don't need to explain what my Twitter handle used to be Bob T. Goldfish. I'm not telling you. You don't need to know.
This is why I love it. But that's how you can find me. Then also, everything is also on my website with txhdhockey.com. Our podcast, AwesomeMania, which we need to get that back up and running eventually soon. We're to talk at...
Life gets in the way.
Yeah, life gets in the way. You can find our other podcast, which is Voices from the Grid, which is our Power Ranger podcast that we do with our friends Sasha and Brian, which will also be doing that panel at GalaxyCon Richmond next weekend as well. So with that, it'll go from jokes into Ben.
Yeah. Cool. I guess from way we would normally close out our show. I normally would say, for homie Marcus, this has been your boy Jokes. Marcus, tell the folks what they need to hear.
Sure. Just because your back is against the ropes doesn't mean you can't move forward.
And Mike and I will leave you, as we always do. In the words of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and all those beyond that spectrum, please be excellent to each other and party on, my friends.
And until next time, we'll see you ringside.
Peace! Yeah, if you guys can all just come up the front right quick so Mike and I can record the thing.